Hey, welcome back everybody. Today's the big day. That's right, tugboats are happening now in Rust Console Edition for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, next generations, and everything in between, and I'm Jade Monkey. Okay, so this is the opening play for this. This happens on Testing Staging branch right now. It's currently on there, so if you're playing just like normal Rust and you're like, hey, I can't find these anywhere, that's why. These typically cook on a testing branch for about a month or so, and ours is, I think, scheduled for June 27th if everything goes as planned. So, yeah, we're going to give you the breakdown on how to find this. So if you're like, hey, I'm on normal Rust, I don't know where to find this, I got you. So you're looking for this icon here. It'll say Rust Public Testing Branch. It is a separate download. You have to launch a separate application. If you don't have it already or you don't have access, well, I should say, if you don't have access, you can upgrade it with one of the skins. It's like, I think it's called the Blackout skin or something like that, and then you get like some coins and then access to PTB. But most people have like the Deluxe or Ultimate Edition, so you can just go and search for Rust Console Edition Public Testing Branch. Once you download that, you'll be able to find tugboats around the harbors. Again, if everything goes as planned, this should happen around June 27th for main branch. So, you know, less than a month. Fingers crossed that everything goes as planned. This is a second phase for the actual subs and labs. We do have procedural labs, obviously, over on Rust Console Edition now. And if you didn't know, this is the hard counter to this. And this is very significant because this is essentially a giant mobile base that is on the water. And yes, you do authorize on this. There is no upkeep on this bad boy, which is kind of cool. So if I actually get on board, let me bring up my menu here so you guys can actually see what's going on. If you go up here to the main, would this be the control room, I guess? You mount it here, then hold the action wheel, and then you have to authorize. Once you hold the action wheel one more time, you can see that you can clear it. You can also add things like fuel. Once you're authorized, you can do things like push it off of the beach. Just be advised it's going to consume a lot of food and water as you push it. So it's nice to know that people who are not authorized can't push it out or away. Once you are authorized, it's just like any other building structure. You can start to place doors, even wooden doors. Yes, you can start to see how cool this is getting very quickly. You can place some deployables around the boat itself, but there are some restrictions. Obviously, no. I know the first thing everyone's thinking is there's turrets. You can't. Trust me, we've tried. And if it is, it's definitely a glitch. But the main build area is down here at the bottom. You can see inside of here, you can start to place other things like furnaces. And get this. This is the big one. Oh, actually, let me bring this up. If we bring up our items here, you can actually place a bed. Yeah, you can see where we're going with this. You can place boxes inside as well. So you can store your loot. You can stick down crafting benches. It's very, very awesome. And yes, you can pull up semi-close to things like oil rig, but there is a restriction on where you can spawn. Let me go ahead and try to give you a rough idea. So I think it's about 1.5 squares away from like major monuments. You can pull into it. It's just the bed will be non-spawnable. And I believe there'll be a reticle, or not a reticle, but an icon in the upper right-hand corner that should show you that you cannot spawn your bed there. But it is really nice. Like you can actually roll up on oil rig or a cargo ship. Cargo ship, I think you can still spawn around it. Obviously, it's going to be pulling away from you, but this is really great for countering things like that. And even though it's 1.5 squares away, it's still a lot better than grabbing a boat and then driving all the way back. And also, it's a great place to depot all of your stuff. Now, I should say, keep in mind that this is a mobile base for when you're online. Yes, you can store these things offline, but don't expect to keep all your loot. I wouldn't store everything in this when you go offline. Essentially, this thing will decay after 36 hours. It will be delayed, I believe, if you touch it or drive it at all for 24 hours, and then that timer starts after that. So, yeah, be aware. You can kind of like make an enclosure for this, but it's so expensive, you're better off kind of just protecting it with turrets, or in most cases, as it was designed to just kind of use it while you're online and then kind of just motor around and do what you're going to do. Also, it's worth noting that there's only 4 of these or 3 of these. I want to say it's 4 of these active at one time on a server. And yes, they do spawn at the harbor itself. Let me go ahead and show you some of these spawn locations, as we do have a subtle difference because we have the old harbor stuff. We just know it as regular harbor. But you can see small harbor here. It's going to be a little confusing. So the green outlines here are where they can spawn. Now remember, there's only 4 per server, and I can almost promise you when you sign in today, they're going to be gone because everybody's looking for them. But this is where they spawn, in those green squares or highlights. But notice I have, did I bring, there we go. I have a pointer, look at me go. So right here you can see there's actual tugboats a part of the monument. I hashed these out with red because those are ones you cannot drive, and they're a little confusing because they look almost identical, especially this one up here. So just keep that in mind. If you're over there like, man, it's broken, it's not in here, chances are somebody's got them and they're doing oil rig right now. So that's a small harbor from the aerial view. And then the large harbor has 2 spawn points as well. Same idea, you've got some of these part of the terrain here. And then you have the spawn location here on the left, and then one here on the right as we're floating above the large harbor. So hopefully that helps you guys find it. For the most part, you're probably going to be out there looking for these bad boys, and I want to say they're about 1.5 squares away as far as visually, at least on PC. That could be subtly different for us over on the console side. Again, we'll have a more in-depth guide. I just want to give you guys a nice breakdown of like what's happening and where to find these, because I know a lot of us are very excited to get in here and actually do this. So let me just show you small harbor one more time. So yeah, last time I checked, it's about 4 of these bad boys on a server at one time. So, and you know, a lot of people are going to be going out to the barrier. Please note that once you hit the barrier, it will destroy your vehicle and you at the same time. Last time we checked, you can go out 17 squares before you hit the barrier on console. I would say stay within a 15 blank square. Don't count these squares, but like the blank squares. I would say stay within the 15 square range if you want to. That's extremely far away. Our render distance isn't quite as far as the PC version, so you won't be able to see the island. So I would recommend if you park things out there, use your marker system. It helps quite a bit. Yeah, it's gonna be a big deal. Also, here's some small configurations you can kind of do here where you can kind of place things to obstruct. Yes, you can place armored doors. And we even have, and again, we'll probably go through this on the guide, but there's different ways to do airlocks as you go inside. You can see a configuration that can be quite heady for you and your larger group, or even just, I guess, a small group. You can fit quite a few beds inside of here. And here's the other thing, too. You're probably like, okay, so how does this thing get sunk? How do you counter this? It is done with a submarine. It takes 12 torpedoes to sink it. For right now, and I don't know if they've updated this, you should be able to buy these at the fishing village, but in our current version, that's on main branch, you can't buy these. So you'll have to go down the tree to buy the torpedoes. But once here, you surface the submarine right here, and then you rip 12 shots. And they have to hit. And you really have to be on the surface. One upside, if this is still on, you should be able to see this bad boy up here. If you start the engine, if the submarine's on, is it on? Is it blipping? Maybe because I'm not mounted. But this sonar actually does work. So one of the best things you can do as a tugboat driver, a tugboat captain, is you can motor around and then fix this thing after it's been cooled down, but also use this sonar at the same time. This is going to take wood and metal fragments after 30 seconds, almost. But yeah, just know that the sonar does work. There we go. So yeah, if you're getting attacked, the best thing you can do is serpentine and then kind of fix the boat. Yes, the auto run does work on this. All right, let me go ahead and tag all of this because I want to show you one more thing that's pretty awesome about this, because you'll be like, oh no, what happens when you're totally sunk? It's not over. As a matter of fact, there's even more gameplay around this. Once it does sink, it should last time I checked, 2 hours or longer on the ocean floor. Yes, and if you're the owner of the tugboat, you can actually go back and still open the doors even though it's completely sunk. Now hopefully we have, I think it's already sinking. I believe it is. This should be 12. Yes, there it goes. It's starting to go. Oh, that's so dramatic when it sinks. We're going to stick this on here. As it starts to sink, you'll see this goes all the way to the bottom. Obviously our visibility on PC is a lot lower than it is on console right now. But what's crazy is even if you come back here, yes, you can still operate these doors, still go inside. How creepy is that? My goodness, Titanic, anybody? But everything is still, all the deployables you can still interact with. So if you own this, you can come back here and retrieve this. I would suggest if you get sunk, place a marker, because sometimes it's actually super secure on the bottom of the ocean floor. Yes, people can raid the door, but honestly, torpedoes are best served as anti-personnel and sinking boats, or tugboats. Yes, you can raid with them, but it's so inefficient, it just doesn't make sense. Yes, you can raid these with satchels, rockets. Ooh, that's really starting to go. Or C4. I had to think about that for a second. Yes, all of those you can place underwater. You've always been able to do that, just most people don't. Okay, I've already lost it down here. Hang on, let me come down. I'm gonna actually cheat for a second. Let me turn this layer off so I can actually see where the heck the boat is. There we go. See? Oh, it's labs. So as it's down here, it should last for quite some time. So that means you can go back after the fight and retrieve your loot. So if people already have, what is it, satchels or C4, obviously they're going to raid the back of this. But if you can get here before them with scuba equipment, you can come back here and retrieve all of your stuff. Is that crazy or what? And yes, I should say no, you can't spawn on your bed when it's underwater. We tried that immediately, so just know that's not a thing. Isn't that so cool though? Like you can actually have all these different amenities that we've always wanted for the water monuments, but now we've got them. You can run multiple water monuments at one time because you've got the storage capacity. And this bad boy moves just about a little bit faster than a cargo ship. And from our calculations, roughly, you can go 2 squares and it's going to burn 25 low grade. Or I'm sorry, 1 square is going to be 25 low grade. Wait, is that right? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. 10 squares is 50 low grade. That's right. Okay, we got it. I got it. You're right. Jeez. So that's the Tugboat right now. It's currently available on public testing branch. Remember, it is a separate download. It should hit us at the end of June, and it's going to complete our, what are they calling it? Underwater Armageddon or underwater assault. Hello. Jeez, I'm having a stroke. So yeah, this is going to be a beautiful addition to Rust Console Edition. I'm mad excited for this. It's a great time to subscribe and turn on those notifications as we will be streaming from here and also showing you guys all of the different changes. If you are looking for a good C-Lab guide, it should already be up on the end screen now. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Love ya. Bye.